Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Connect the Knox. I am your host, Julia Hurley, connecting Knoxville to the nation. And today we have a connector of our own, Amber Carroll. She is the new hostess of Living East Tennessee, one of the most popular TV shows letting you know what's going on in the East Tennessee market. Amber, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a blast. I'm usually on your end, so this is a lot of fun for me.
You do so many interviews. You get to talk to so many amazing people across the Knoxville and East Tennessee market. You bring a lot of excitement and a lot of personal touch to what most would say is a boring news day. So a lot of people tune in to WATE Channel 6 News just to find out what's going on in Living East Tennessee. So tell us a little bit. Let's start with just about you. I think people in Knoxville would like to get to know who their new hostess is.
Yeah, I love this job. I love what I do. I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee. I was out in California, actually, and this job popped up. I was doing medical TV out of all things. Went to University of Tennessee, started out in sports reporting and anchoring, and wanted to kind of get back to that side of TV as to where you could have a little bit more excitement and personality. Loved medical TV, but blood wasn't my thing. So watching surgeries and all those things, it was a blast, a great area in life. So they got me back from California, and they kind of hit me with that you can start going to Tennessee games again in Neyland. And I was like, hands down, I'll see you in a month. It's been such a blast and such a huge blessing to not only get to be back in my home state, which is so close to my heart, but be right here in Knoxville, where it's growing so rapidly, but in a great way. And to be a part of that and experience that. And experience it alongside locals here. And it makes me feel like this is actually home over Nashville, to be honest.
Knoxville's way better than Nashville.
Hands down, hands down.
Hands down. So how did you facilitate, because I've seen Living East Tennessee completely change. The guests have changed. The atmosphere has changed. The excitement has changed. The interviews have changed. You're bringing really a different aspect and a different community conversation. What are some of currently, since you've been there, your absolute favorite segment?
You know, like today, there was moments where I couldn't get my words out. You can't speak. So some days you're just like, I'm trying to turn on, I'm trying to be here with you guys and people. And I guess that human element, I think that's one of my favorite aspects in general about lifestyle is having that human element. But honestly, I don't know if I have like a specific favorite segment, but one of my favorite things I've been able to do is be able to connect with local business owners, or even like people have my number and they'll text me and say, hey, we've got this new thing coming on. We'd love to come on and share it. And I'm like, absolutely. And so for me, the most important aspect of this show is not only connecting locally with the viewers, but connecting with the people around us and to know they have their own outlet and people to come to that they feel like they can trust with their business and be able to share that with East Tennessee and beyond. Because people come from all over the place to travel here, whether it's the Smoky Mountains, whether it's the Tennessee games. I mean, Knoxville is it's a hub now, for people to come and travel. And we want to be able to be like, this is our town. Welcome to our place, East Tennessee. And to me, like I said, I don't know if I have a specific segment in mind. I just like to have a lot of fun, girl. Like we have a blast. Sometimes I mess up and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. But the people here are incredible, and to see it come to life like that is the ultimate experience for me.
So now you have a guest cook who has also been on my television show and on my podcast, Michael Galeon, Blue Shirt Guy. So I saw that yesterday and I thought, oh my gosh, how cool is it that I've had so many different people and we all find a way to connect, which is exactly why we named our podcast Connect the Knox. You are doing the same with television. You're connecting people in the community. Some of the best episodes I've seen are definitely surrounded by some of our biggest treasures, like the Knoxville Zoo and animals, and you get to experience those kinds of things. What are some of the new things?
I love Knoxville has opening so many different Knoxville, not only Knoxville, but live in like East Tennessee in general. There's so many different aspects opening up. There's a new place in Clinton, actually, that's about to open. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. That place is going to be amazing. One of my favorite like little hidden gems, a lot of people coming to the Gatlinburg area, Townsend. I love Townsend. You've got the beauty out there, but then also there's so many local makers that come from Knoxville to travel there, whether they're in Townsend in general. I love that area of the world too, in East Tennessee. But I would say coming up and stuff, I just think there's so many different businesses popping up. Like even recently, I've had a lot of uptick and people texting me like, this person's starting their own clothing line, different things. And I'm like, let's do it. Let's bring each other up. Let's all connect. And there's so many great business places like Maker City, for instance, that connects people, but then also helps you get your business like off the ground. I think those businesses are so crucial because we're all noticing like, I want my time. I want to be able to spend time with my family, my kids. I want to own my own business and I can do this. And having that support system is huge. And so I love connecting with people like that are encouraging local business owners. And I've met some of my best friends through this show, which is crazy. And I love it. It's so much fun. But there's so much happening in East Tennessee at an incredible rate.
So WATE is now the station for the University of Tennessee Volunteers. You all won that contract over Channel 8 this past year. So as a former sportscaster and someone who's now back in the spotlight in the Knoxville, Tennessee market, and Knoxville was just labeled collegiate sports mecca or something, like we are now the number one place for collegiate sports in the United States of America. How is that like going to play in to all of the things that you have to offer and what you're able to do?
And they know too, anytime I get to have any kind of like sports element in this show, I'm like, can we do this? Can we, do something with homecoming or whatever it might be? And I think that's the beauty of East Tennessee, even if you're not. Quick story, one of my best friends who I met at an art gallery down here, he moved here from New Jersey. They're more of like pro sports fans, and they moved to Knoxville in January of this year, I believe. Huge UT fans now. Huge UT fans. They're like, we've never even been collegiate sports fans, really, but we got here and we were like, this is epic, And some of us, some people might call us fans crazy, But I think that's a part of it. That's a part of the SEC. It's a part of the South in general, and being able to incorporate different elements like things you're interested in, like sports, and kind of make it approachable for everyone, which I love. It's not just a guy thing or, someone who likes sports. Let's get together, let's have a really good time, and let's support this huge cause that, you've seen the videos, the hype videos that the ball football throws out. And I don't care if you're a UT fan or not, you get excited about it. So it's so much fun. And girl, anytime I can throw some sports stuff in here, they're always like, sure, yeah, you can do that.
And I hear that same thing from people all over the country that we move here is, hey, our pro sport, we're pro. And they get here, they experience 100,000, they experience 200,000 fans, they experience the camaraderie and the tailgating. And I took some people from out of state through the tailgates last weekend. And I said, here, we're going to stop and say hi to these people. They said, do you know them? I said, no, I don't have to. We're all family when we're at a UT game. We're just going to stop. We're going to say, hey, we're going to get you acclimated to the acquaintances. We'll get you some orange shirts. Let's go. Like, let's just go. And you get to bring that to all of the locals that tune in to Channel 6 News. So what is your, maybe not dream, but vision for where you're able to go? Because now you're mobile. You all can actually leave the studio. You can go interview people. If you could ask anybody right now for an interview that you haven't been able to get right now, who would it be and why?
One of the biggest things we want to open up into this next year is highlighting these like local cities, maybe that aren't as much on the map when people come to the area, and highlighting East Tennessee as a whole when people are coming in for tourism, and really uptaking our social media platform and utilizing that to help build businesses here in East Tennessee, whether that's, we did a special, I think back in the spring, and focused on Jefferson County, in different places like that, where it's like, let's bring living East Tennessee to here, because this is also East Tennessee. It's not just the big cities you see, maybe not even around Knoxville, but the little hidden gems, the pizza places, hole in the walls that people go to that are stunning and that you might not ever know about unless you ask a local. So going into this next year, that's our goal. We want to spread it far and wide as long as the borders can go. Even we've kind of ventured into like Western North Carolina a little bit, kind of breathed a little bit of Middle Tennessee, and even Northern Kentucky. But I think just highlighting those individuals and helping people give themselves a platform to be able to come out, have the confidence to come out and, have a great time with it and showcase their business. And that's really what we want to do in 2025.
Love that idea so much. I'll give you the first hint for Union County. It's this little restaurant called Little Joe's. Best prime rib you're ever going to find. And they only do it on Fridays. It's delicious. Little Joe's, Union County.
All right, girl. I'm going to give them a call.
That place is delicious. So when you're out and about in Knoxville, how often do people recognize you and want to take your attention? And how often do they share things that you didn't know? I mean, that's something that I have found with people when they talk with me or they talk with some of our kids that we sponsor on the football team, and they'll say, "Hey, can I get a photo?" And then they'll say, "Did you know blank?" And sometimes I'm from here, my family's from here. Sometimes I'm like, "No, I didn't know that. That's so exciting. Thank you for sharing." What have you found has been some of the best kept secrets that the locals share with you?
I think that's one of my favorite things is especially like being approachable like in public and stuff. And it does amaze me because you don't think about it. And most of the time I am not wearing makeup. I'm running on Market Square down here. Like don't look like this outside of work a lot of the time unless I'm going somewhere. And it's amazing when people do recognize you. I was checking out somewhere and guy looked at my ID and he said, "You look a lot taller on TV." And I was like, I've never gotten that one, but I really appreciate that, because I'm 5'10" without heels on and have to wear heels in the studio. It makes me look, as they would call Amazon.
Amazon Amber. Oh my God.
I love that. But I'll take it. I'm like, I've been tall my whole life. And so I love when people are just able to come up and talk to you like that. But honestly, yeah, one of my favorite things is being able to go even to like markets down here or wherever it might be, Maryville, and talking to not only the vendors, but then the vendors saying like, "Hey, have you heard of so-and-so?" Or they're doing this. And I actually had a phone conversation last night. I got a call at 10 o'clock from someone I'd worked with yesterday, and they were like, "I know it's late, but I've got to tell you about this." And, breast cancer awareness. And so I'm connecting with her today. And just like, I think that's what Knoxville is all about too. And East Tennessee in general is connecting people with each other when we all have that like mindset of, and personally, being able to empower others and connect each other. And there's billions and billions of people for a reason. And it's definitely not made or created, I feel like, to just be by ourselves.
We all know that real estate is location, location, location.
Our team at Just Homes Group has the true expertise, pairing buyers and sellers with the right opportunities.
Whether you're looking to buy or sell a home right here in Knoxville,
Lenoir City, Clinton, or Farragut, we have the expertise throughout every Knoxville surrounding area. Call Just Homes Group today.
One of our favorites, throughout the history of Knoxville, you come and go and you see people and restaurants and some of the most staple places have started to kind of wane off as their owners have aged out. Some of that je ne sais quoi, I suppose. What have you seen that's coming in that's taking younger people with new ideas and still encompassing that Knoxville spirit?
I love that question because I totally get that, because it is kind of sad when things start to phase out. Like, I grew up in Mount Juliet. Now Mount Juliet is big now. They've even got a Costco. Like, they're living it up out there. But it was farmland. We would ride our 4-wheelers out, go mudding and in places we probably shouldn't have, and different things like that. And, when things start to close, we have 2 local gas stations, I remember it. Both of those are taken over by larger companies now, built on. But I remember like riding the back of my grandfather's truck and getting like peanuts and Diet Coke, and it's those memories you make as a kid, those nostalgic things. And so when we start to kind of see, like you said, like that shift of the closing, and you're like, it's kind of sad, I never took it for granted, kind of those feelings that I got, being able to make memories with my family or myself, enjoying going to a place. But I think East Tennessee, I love what I've noticed is the collaboration and the real, what would be the right word? And the Appalachian culture that has been embraced and then also put out. So a lot of people are starting to relearn like some of the things that I learned growing up, canning beans, different things like that were just a way of life back in the day. And they were a form of art, broom making, different things that you might not have seen unless you were a kid with your great grandmother. And people are starting to adopt those again and open that back up to a new way that's very modern and approachable, but we're all learning something that's from far back that is huge in our roots. And I've seen that so much, and I love it. Even from people who, we have a guest on here, and she does a wonderful job at that. That's her whole bit is about embracing the Southern.
Librarian?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she's the best.
She is amazing. But she was like, I'm going to teach people how to do this. And I was like, I want to make hand pies. Like, I want to be able to have someone over that's close to me. I want to be able to do that. And I remember making pies as a kid, but have I made one as an adult? Absolutely not, but it's just so beautiful. Everyone is starting to kind of re-embrace the roots and going back to that tradition. So although it's changing, it's evolving and coming back full circle in a, like such a beautiful way. So I love it.
I love that as well. A chicken librarian is one of my favorites. So many of her classes, I learned how to make cheese. I learned how to make soap. I learned how to can. I can make candles, do all these things now. And I think to myself, this is not as hard as I used to think it was. This is a lot easier, a lot simpler. I make jams and jellies, clients and friends. And she takes 2 hours to learn a class. I mean, it's really amazing. She's now branching out and bringing her gift to the master's program. Really love that for her. And I love that that's what you took away from that, because I also take away that culture of, wow, we have so much, we're growing so much. People moving here want to respect our culture and learn the way of doing things, and motivating this next generation to learn the old way. They're not new to us. I love that. I love that. Well, wrapping it up, we've got about 3 minutes left. Tell us some of your favorite things, and you are not promoting any of these people by any means or saying that anybody else is bad or anybody's better, but everybody has a favorite place. Everybody has a favorite restaurant or a favorite grocery store, something they just frequent on a regular basis. Can you get a top 5 list for you?
I have my top, so it could be restaurants, anything.
Anything.
Okay. So I will say I absolutely love some of like the local restaurants that we have here that we frequent like quite often. And this is just me frequenting it because of the people that are there, the service, like the food, and you enjoy it. It's all encompassing. Number one, my boyfriend and I go to Harvest probably like 2 times. They have the best Manhattan in town, you guys. I'll tell you that much. And I love everyone there. You know, they get to know you, they get to know your name. And it's such a beautiful place. You can go watch a game there. There's so much, I feel like, that's inviting about that space. I love Harvest. I mean, people there for brunch all the time. What else do I love? Downtown Wine and Spirits. That's another place I have to shout out because they help me find the best wine. And I love that their selection is handpicked. They had a Rioja not too long ago. I love me some wine. And if you can't tell, I just mentioned Manhattan and wine like back to back. I apologize. But you can tell what I like to do in my spare time.
Totally normal.
This is what I like to do in my spare time. I will say, and I absolutely love, they do such a great job selection-wise, and they're always there to help you. And he literally got the box out last time I was there, and he was like, we just got this in. I was like, that sounds perfect. You know, and they know what you like and that local aspect. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to branch out past my wine and cocktail fetish here. I would say I love going to the markets, like in general, any market, especially downtown. On Saturdays, the square, and everything changes. A lot of the vendors change too. That's one of my favorite aspects because you get to know people, especially even walking around and through the show, I've gotten to know a lot of the vendors. And sometimes I'll just go so I go grab a bag of coffee from, I think it's Three Bears Coffee, I think it's what it's called. And it's very good. It's my favorite. And so I'll grab a bag there and I'll just go give hugs to everybody. That's mainly why I go. I'm like, my mom will call and it's like, you going to see your friends at the market? I'm like, yes, I love my people. Like, it's so much fun to be able to see that. I would also say who does my hair, and actually who I met through the show, no joke, Serendipity Hair Salon up here off North Broadway. She's amazing. She is incredible. Like I said, I met her through the show and I had a hair emergency one day and I was like, hey girl, do you have any time? And she is the sweetest soul and is an incredible colorist. So if you need a great colorist, hairdresser in Knoxville, that is definitely the place to go. And then I'll say, let's see, for my 5th one, I love the Fancy Rascal. It's a boutique. I think it's what it's called, Fancy Rascal. It's off right there off Kingston Pike, going towards you've got Intrepid Cold Brew, is the Nitro Cold Brew place. It's going towards Kingston Pike over there, but it's a really, really cute boutique. And she has a bunch of different selections, but she only gets in certain sizes. So I stop by there. I try not to, but like every week or every other week, you know. Yeah, exactly. There's just so many little places that I love, and it's so hard to pick, but like a big wide range variety of different things. So those are probably the places like that are in the forefront of my mind right now, but there's so many.
I love it. Well, we're going to wrap it up there. But Amber, please tell everybody where they can find you, when they can tune in, how they can find all the information and the websites and everything. You're literally living East Tennessee.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. And you can find me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active, on Amber Carroll. And then find me on, I'm not really active on Facebook. My Instagram goes to my Facebook though. So I would definitely say find me on Instagram, connect with me, message me. I'll definitely message back because that's just me. If you need anything news-wise or any businesses want to reach out, it's acarroll@wate.com for my email.
Love it. Amber, thank you so much for spending time with us. And everyone, thank you yet again for tuning to another episode of Connect the Knox. I'm Julia Hurley, your host with the mostest, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for visiting.
Thank you for tuning into the show. Make sure to like and subscribe. Leave a 5-star review on your podcast player of choice. And if you would like information on moving to Knoxville, send me a private message. As always, this is Julia Hurley connecting Knoxville to the nation.